Hello again, my fellow travelers. And yeah, I know, it has been a while, but this one is something special. Thank you so much for your lovely support to my channel, and over 1,000 subscribers and counting. So let's get straight into it, because I'm really excited to show you the best creation of a build I've done so far. Well, at least for my favor. I know I'm a bit late to the party with the new stuff from the latest DLC, but I have worked on this build the past 2 weeks, and it just got even better on the latest patch. So why do I say the only build you need? Well, because it's literally that. Not only that you have an almost unkillable tank, you also do a shit ton of damage to any encounters, have infinite mods and skills, and if that's not enough, the way you have to play this build is just incredible fun. So how does that sound? While I'm fighting some bosses in the background, let's have a closer look to a few things which make this build so good. But before that, and if you like my videos and what I'm doing here, consider giving it a like and subscribe to my channel for more. In my opinion, a build should be balanced between damage, survivability, and of course usability, meaning where and how you can use it to fight. First of all, let's have a look why this build is able to hit so fast all the time. We've got Brawler's Pride with 15% attack speed, Berserker's Crest with 10%, 15% from Relic Fragment, 7% from Haste, and another 15% from the Juggernaut skill. So that's 62% of attack speed. That's something, right? And why we need that? Well, because every single hit gives us 12% shield of our max health and restores a ridiculous amount of health while the shield goes up. And this is possible due to 3% life leech from the Profane Heart and 4.5% from the Difference Engine Amulet. The new trait Leech gives a 50% efficiency on that, which makes a total of 11.25% life leech. So this basically means as long as you constantly hitting with your melee attacks, you're almost unkillable. Not forgetting to mention the 71.2% of damage reduction plus 10% less damage from enemies. So that's about the survivability part. And for the damage, well, we use a few pretty nice synergies here which make this a high crit chance and damage build. One of my favorite is the new Monolith weapon, which mod not only does some serious damage over time, it also applies Exposed to the target, which increases all damage by 15%, and in combination with the Token of Favor ring, another 5% plus 10% critical chance. The next synergy is the Shielded Strike Mutator on our melee weapon, which not only gives us the survivability, but also a damage increase for charged melees based on our shield level, and the Difference Engine Amulet, which also adds another 20% to all damage, plus the lifesteal. And from the perk and skill side, we have another 50% from Juggernaut, 15% from Entranced, and 35% from Close Quarters. Combining all of this with a total of 40% critical chance, and you have bosses like the Nightweaver gone in less than 1 minute. And what about the usability? The reason I put in the fight against Lydusa here is because of that. Even the boss is floating around in the first stage and is still easy to hit with our melee attack all the time. The second stage is a bit more difficult and needs some timing and positioning. Keeping up the rotation, which is shown later in this video, needs a bit of practice, of course. But if you do, you can easily beat any encounter in this game, and that with only one build. It just feels like every single aspect of this build matches together, and that's why this is by far my most favorite and best matching build. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below or join my Discord to have a chat about it, as I'm always up to interact with this awesome community. Alright then, let's break down the rotation. First of all, get up the Way of Kyula skill, because of all that additions it triggers. Next, bring up the Juggernaut. spawning the Sandstorm mod next for the exposed status, and then Song of Aether, which triggers skill cooldown with the Spellweaver mutator, and also giving us a much better time due to slow and damage reduction. But let's just rewatch the part with the melee attack. The first thing you do is to charge your crystal staff. After having 10 charges, make sure you hit that charged melee, which does a main part of our damage and also refills most of the mod power. After that, repeat everything until you've finished your encounter. Doesn't sound too complicated, right? Well, just give it a little practice. It's definitely worth it. Let's head over to the build. I'm not going into the archetypes much, but we're using Invoker for the double charges, duration, and cooldown for skills. Challenger is the only really option here for our secondary. As we already had a look at the synergies from some items, we will go quickly through here. As always, you'll find the build linked down in the description. So we are going to use Difference Engine for the damage and lifesteal perk, the recently buffed Brawler's Pride, with now also plus 5% crit chance and the attack speed, Burden of the Gambler, also for crit chance and damage, another buffed trinket, Berserker's Crest, which now increases all melee speed and reduces stamina cost, and Token of Favor for the damage and critical chance. We use the Monolith primary gun because of the Sandstorm mod and the feedback mutator, 15% increased damage and a lot of mod power from that. Even the Crystal Staff as our main weapon got a bit nerfed in the latest patch. Combined with the overall buffs, it's still even better than before. Shielded Strike is the only option for the mutator here. The secondary gun doesn't really matter, but it should be an empty mod slot, as we are using Song of Aether for the slow effect and damage reduction. For the mutator, Spellweaver helps to bring up our skills even faster. The Profane Heart will permanently give you 3% lifesteal, which is just awesome. As for the fragments, we go with melee speed, shield effectiveness, and health, because more health also equals to more shield. Full Leto Mark II armor set, as this will still give you medium dodge so you don't flop if you have to. I really recommend you follow my guide for the traits, as it will give you exactly what this build needs. You can still experiment, of course, if you find something that suits your playstyle better. So I really hope you enjoyed the video and give this build a try. It's absolutely worth it. Thanks again to all of you for your lovely support to my channel, and consider dropping a like and a comment if you want to see more of this. Cheers.